Hello, Rolling for a Reason podcast fans. It is Sarah again with another Rolling for a Reason podcast episode for you guys that is coming from TCOasis. And I am here with another one of our top fundraisers today. And he is our fourth overall top lifetime fundraiser, raising over $67,000 since he started fundraising for us. Please welcome to the podcast, Brian Jones.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining me. I know I snagged you off the beach so we could get the podcast going. How are you liking TCOasis so far?
It's been great. Yeah. Such a great group of folks.
Yeah.
It's nice to be back.
It's great. I love having you guys returning year after year because it's just like a great community that's a whole different extension of a Tap Cancer Out family than what we build at our tournaments for sure. So
the same way. It's good to see everybody again.
That's awesome. All right. So we'll just get started. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So I'm 48. I've been rolling for about 8 years. I've got a wife and 2 kids at home. They're both high schoolers. So I train in the morning session out in Chicago, and it's a good experience so far.
Awesome. What belt are you?
I'm a brown belt,
Brown
2 stripes.
Belt. Heck yeah. Where do you train at?
I'm at Pica Jiu-Jitsu. We're out in Aurora, Illinois.
Amazing. Pica is one of I think you guys are our top fundraising academy in Chicago at the moment. Roll Academy is most definitely creeping on your guys' heels, I think, but I think you guys still got the number one spot. So what made you first initially want to get involved in Tap Cancer Out?
I think it's a great cause. Our gym was involved years ago, but I feel like the older you get, the more likely you are to have experienced cancer in some form or fashion, unfortunately. And I just feel like it's a nice blend between 2 of my passions, right? Raising money for good causes and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, absolutely. So did you just hear about us from Pica? They've been supporters of ours since the beginning of our Chicago tournament, I think. So.
Yeah, I think I started when we were at Carlson Gracie.
Nice.
And then merged in with Pica right around COVID.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and then really hit the gas.
Went the gas going on that one?
Yep.
What was your first Tap Cancer Out tournament like?
I think it was about 5 years ago. I was probably a white belt at that point, maybe a blue. But it was good. It was a well-run tournament. Good work.
Thank you.
Fundraising was fun. It was interactive. Good to get kind of the team atmosphere involved like that. Mm-hmm. The kids at the gym were able to get involved in it.
Yeah.
It's a well-run deal.
Awesome. And for our listeners, I know some of you guys volunteer with us already, but Brian, can you tell me a little bit about the last time you were at Tap Cancer Out tournament, because you were not competing, but you decided to do something else for us instead?
Yeah, so I worked the merch table. That was pretty exciting. You get to meet a lot of people.
You do. You get to search those crazy bins for what t-shirt size everybody needs. What do you think the hardest part of working merch was?
Working through people's disappointments, right? If you don't have their size or style or that they're looking for and they've earned with their fundraising, it's tough to kind of navigate that. But everybody's there for the same reason. It's such a good cause that I think keeping it in perspective, right? If you don't have their flat dark earth sweatshirt that they're looking for, they're okay with the rash guard.
Yeah, that's good. I also think it's good that we have so many different options because we have 6 different types of hoodies. It's we might not have that one, but we have these 5 others.
Oh my God. TCO's gear has stepped up.
Yeah.
In such a great manner.
Yeah. I shout out to Becky Thomas for that because she really, really has elevated our merch game for sure.
No doubt.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and get into your fundraising a little bit. So how do you kind of approach fundraising for TCO every year?
So it's easy to start with the grassroots approach, right? I think as long as you're not hounding your friends and your family multiple times each year for a million different causes, I think that if you ask for support, people understand that this is a recurring thing for you, something that's really important to you, and they're willing to come out and help you out.
Yeah, absolutely. So is that kind of your first initial approach, is go to family and friends? And then I think that was something that even Nacho and Shannon touched on a little bit, is how often you want to repeat and ask for donations. Have you found kind of a good method on how you go about asking for donations so it doesn't sound so repetitive?
Yeah, well, I'm not super active during the year. Yeah. 48 now, so that TCO is really my only competitive event each year.
Yeah.
And so when it comes around for Chicago, it's in the fall. So it's easy for that to be the one mile marker for me to ask folks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you do anything with donation matching?
So we do a little bit of donation matching. I'm fortunate enough to serve on a few family foundations and private foundations. And oftentimes when I make a personal donation, they'll come to the table and match that.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's been really helpful.
Yeah.
A couple of my clients are foundations, so they will also come out and support my cause.
That's perfect. That's amazing. Do you have any advice for anybody who kind of does want to start going down the donation match path? Like, what's the best kind of course of action to do that?
Yeah, I think an easy layup would be to check with your employer to see if they'll match something along those lines. I don't know if you have other contacts with foundations. I think they have to make their 5% donation each year to a public charity, which Tap Cancer Out is, 501c3. So to the extent that you can make that donation, hopefully they can come out and match that.
And match it?
Yep.
That's awesome. Is there something that, if someone's a little nervous about asking for donations, is there a piece of advice that you could give them on what's the best way to kind of get over that like nervousness of asking for money from people?
Yeah, I think part of it is believing in the cause in the first place. And, solving childhood cancer is a pretty universal appeal.
Yeah.
And a lot of the charities that Tap Cancer Out supports are household names.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's easy to come out and say, well, here's what they support. Here's who we are. Here's how long they've been around.
Yeah.
They're all certified with the IRS, 501c3.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
very legitimatized.
Awesome. Do you have one of our beneficiaries that kind of speaks to you or you just like feel personally drawn to, or is it just all of them across the board you love?
Well, the Alex's Lemonade was
Yeah.
kind of like an easy one to get behind. Like the Coughlin Foundation, I think both those were easy to recognize at least.
Yeah.
But as I've become more aware of the Tap Cancer Out, beneficiaries,
Yeah.
I think every one of them has their own appeal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's why a lot of times we're very successful in getting a lot of people to support us because we are like across the board. We hit breast cancer, we hit childhood cancer, we hit research, we hit, have the mobile testing site in Kenya. And that's, I think, a cool thing for people to be able to go in and see, okay, it's not just breast cancer, it's not just childhood
I don't even
cancer.
think I knew about that one, so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. A lot of people, just because they kind of like look on our website and they see all of our cancer beneficiaries listed, I think they kind of I think some of them have certain ones that speak to them, obviously, if they've worked with them in the past or if they just have heard of them. But there's a lot on there that people haven't heard of before. Like, I didn't know anything about our cure cervical cancer that is in Kenya until I started working for TCO. So I think that's one of the best things is that we kind of hit every single, not type of cancer, I shouldn't say that, but we're very well spread out to have a bunch of support in different ways.
That's cool.
What should someone listening right now, why should they consider fundraising for TCO? I know you kind of hit on that already, but is there something that draws you more closely to this mission than another cancer not another cancer beneficiary, but another fundraiser?
So I think anytime that I'm looking to support a charitable organization, it's important to check and see how much of their bottom line is actually going to their charitable cause. And I think Tap Cancer Out's been really efficient with making sure that their monies go to the right places.
Right.
You don't have a mountain of an executive team that's getting paid, a boatload of money. Not that those dollars wouldn't be earned at a big organization or something, but I think it's important that when somebody makes a donation, they know it's going to the cause that they're donating to.
Yeah.
It's not just somebody's fat salary.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case here.
Yeah, we say all the time that it doesn't get watered down very much when
You guys are lean.
Yes,
And the
we're
money
very
goes where
lean.
it's supposed to go.
Yeah, we make sure that we are, even with our mats, when we cut our mats, John did it himself. We get
Nice.
very creative on how we can do our best to save the most money.
It's great.
What is a small, I'm trying to think of the best way to ask this question. What is like something small that someone can do for the first time who's trying to fundraise? Is it going to their family and friends? Is it posting something on social media? What do you think, if someone's taking that first beginning step into fundraising, what the best course of action for them would be?
I think I was asking you right before we got together, and like how many years have I done this? Because it's easy to lose track,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And I think this is my 5th year having gone through it. And I think maybe in my first year, it was just like you're on a t-shirt or a sweatshirt, but it's nice to like set your goal. I'm going to compete, win or lose. This is for a good cause.
Yeah.
And if I could meet my entry, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
Right? You raise
absolutely.
$250 or $500, whatever it is, and check that off your list. And I think it's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
Right? After you've done it the first year, maybe people didn't catch it. The second year you've asked, well, that sounds familiar, right?
Yeah.
It's important to Sarah. She's coming back out. And now like 3rd, 4th, 5th year, they're like, yeah, I know this is like Sarah's thing.
Yeah.
It's Brian's thing.
Yeah.
And they're willing to support you.
Yeah.
Again, it's going back, like I don't run marathons. I'm not doing like rowing or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I roll, at this tournament once a year.
Yeah.
People know I'm going to ask in October or before. And they're willing to support your good cause.
Yeah, that's incredible. Is there something that you've done in the past with fundraising that you have realized doesn't work?
Oh, let's see. I don't know. I really don't ask that much.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing is not everybody's able to come to the table with a certain amount, but if it's important to you and you put it out there to your friends, I think it's also willing for you to put your money where your mouth is.
Right.
So
right.
if you're not going to make the $250, be ready to make the donation yourself, that you believe in this cause.
Yeah.
And that's something that we've done too as a family.
Yeah.
It's just like, if we're close to the threshold, let's make the push and bump it over the top.
Because like you mentioned earlier, you donate to your own fundraising page, correct?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's if you're asking other people to do it, then you should be able to eat your own cooking.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
I think that's a big thing that we encourage a lot of people to do. If they're like, even if they're close to that perk that they want, it's like, hey, why don't you give yourself a donation so that people are seeing that you're also putting in the fundraising as
you're
well.
pot committed, right?
Exactly. You're pot committed. You're not going back. It's actually so funny. I didn't know what the term pot committed meant.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, come on now.
For the longest time. And I can't remember. It was a couple years ago. And John, I can't remember where we were, but he was like, well, we're pot committed now. And I just kind of looked at him and I was like, okay. And he was like, have you never heard the term pot committed before?
Did he fill you in?
So he filled me in on what it means.
Good.
So now anytime I hear the term pot committed, it makes me laugh because for the longest time, I don't know if I never heard the term or what happened, but what is, since we're at TCOasis and this is your 3rd or 4th year?
It's my 3rd year.
3rd year here?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about TCOasis?
I think you touch on it right away.
Yeah.
It's the returning, I don't know if we call each other campers or attendees, but it's neat to see the same faces over and over. And then there's, newer faces coming in and out. And so you really get to network and reconnect with people who have kind of done this over and over again. And you share ideas as far as what's worked with them.
Yeah.
Get to know their families. I mean, there are people now who've seen for 3 years. I've seen 3 years. Others have seen for 5 years in a row.
Yeah.
And some of these kids who would qualify it are now like young adults. It's really cool to see people in their growth.
Yeah. I think also just because we do train while we're here too, it's cool to see people who have like gotten belt promotions come back through.
Big time.
Or like just, I know we've all been talking about Robbie and how
his game he was one that came to mind.
Just gotten so much better in the years that he's been here. Is there something that someone has taught you out of the group of fundraisers from TCOasis? Is there anybody that, since you guys do bounce ideas off of each other so much, that somebody taught you in your time here that you've applied it to your own fundraising efforts?
Yeah, I think, Shannon and Nacho have both been here the couple of years that I've been here, and they each have their own approach as far as how things are done. Each recipe is different, right? And who you're appealing to is also different. So I think that's excellent. Sergio's also been here.
Yes.
So it's neat for him to hear different ideas and share different ideas.
Yeah.
I think you have to customize this. Certain that there are common themes, right? People are leaning on friends or family or clients or businesses or whoever are their biggest supporters.
Yeah.
But they're really coming out because they're supporting you as an individual.
Yeah.
And I think that's important that you make that appeal.
Yeah. Is there, I actually meant to ask Shannon this when we did her podcast, because she doesn't compete at all. And I know, I know you competed more than 2 years, but since you've earned TCOasis, was it just last year that you didn't compete at our tournament?
Yeah, last year was my first year I didn't compete.
I think that's a big thing that people should kind of understand too, is like you can fundraise for us, but you don't have to compete.
Definitely.
Yeah.
My fundraising is way better than my jiu-jitsu. That's for sure.
Exactly. And that's why I think, for the people who want to support but aren't necessarily competitors, or they were competitors but now they're not competitors anymore, it's a great way for them to still be involved, and they can come and volunteer like you did, or if they want to just donate, they can just donate and raise money.
Absolutely. Don't forget the cause, because your body's falling apart.
Right.
Or whatever the case is going to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Is there someone specific that when you wanted to get involved in Tap Cancer Out, that you were fighting for, or was it just the mission moved you that much?
Well, my mom's mom died of cancer, and that really affected me. I was second grade. We were really close.
Yeah.
And my wife's aunt was really close with the family.
Yeah.
She died recently of breast cancer. So
I'm sorry.
it's like I said, the longer you go in life, it's almost certain that you're going to have cancer touch you or your family in some way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so it's easy to get behind a cancer organization like TCO.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your getting back into TCOasis a little bit? Is there a favorite class or move or instructional that we have given in your time with us that you really stands out?
There's been some really good ones. Nelson and Hillary today were excellent with their instruction. John, the founder of TCO, he gave a really good class last year, I think it was, on lasso guard. That was pretty outstanding. And really, with my CTE, it's like every class is new for me.
Oh, really? I didn't know you. I was like, do you have CTE?
Self-diagnosed.
Self-diagnosed CTE. I mean, I feel like everyone who trains this type of sport has it a little bit.
I played a little college football, which probably lent to that a little bit.
Why, since you did play college football, what made you get into jiu-jitsu in the first place?
So I grew up wrestling through high school, and then at the end of high school, I was done with wrestling.
Okay.
But after, football's done and everything like that, you're looking for something to stay in shape without just getting on a treadmill.
Yeah.
And I think the grappling aspect of jiu-jitsu was really interesting to me. It's like you're always learning and meeting great people. And it's kind of like golf. You've never really figured things out.
Right.
There's always going to be a different lie. There's always going to be a different angle. The person you're going against is different.
Yeah.
Your approach needs to be different too.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's especially because how long did you wrestle for before you started jiu-jitsu? Well, just in general, I guess.
So I started when I was 7 years old.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And then wrestled until I was 18.
Oh, man. Yeah. So you were all throughout high school and everything.
Yeah.
Did you ever want to do it in college?
So it was either wrestling or football. And football won out.
And what position did you play in football?
I was outside linebacker.
Nice. Did you play? So you played in college?
Yeah, I was at Eastern Illinois.
Nice. Very, very cool. I feel like now that I'm a little bit more involved in jiu-jitsu, it's like wrestlers train, ex-football players train, and then it's just kind of like a crapshoot after that.
Yes.
But it's like there's so many people even at my gym that are like, oh yeah, I used to play football in college, or I used to be a D1 wrestler. And I think that's what's at least cool to me, is because I only knew jiu-jitsu, and then my academy started wrestling.
Nice.
And just because you did start with wrestling, how much do you feel like wrestling kind of helped you get into jiu-jitsu? Like, what was the main crossover that you saw between the two?
I think a whole lot. Your base is different. Your takedowns, you're a little more proficient. Your defense is a little bit more proficient. The thing you have to get used to, is that you always want to not get pinned. Right. In wrestling. And you'd belly down. Yes. That's a horrible idea in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. It didn't take long to figure that one out.
Yeah. That is absolutely true. I think that's because we started a kids class at my academy for our kids, and they've never wrestled before. And that's the big thing, is they started to want to pull guard when they were wrestling. Yeah. And our wrestling coach was like,
you're going to get
stuck.
Not how that works. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
No, it's not. It's not good. You can't do that. You gotta try something else.
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome. Is there one thing that really, because you have competed at other tournaments besides Tap Cancer Out, is there something that stands out to you that makes our tournament different from other tournaments?
Well, I don't want to just say this because it's home cooking, but I do think you guys run a really clean tournament. You guys do a good job. And in addition to that, the feel when you're at the tournament is just a little bit different, right? Like I've been to others that I won't name. I'm not a huge competitor, but I've been to at least 2 or 3 different other brands.
Yeah.
But when you're at Tap Cancer Out, everybody kind of knows that you're there for a good cause, right? Like certainly it's competitive. Everybody wants to win, but it's a little bit different when you know that you're there. Everybody's fundraising, and it's all going to a good cause.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the underlying thing.
Yeah. Is there a favorite memory that you have from a Tap Cancer Out tournament, or even TCOasis, or both?
Yeah, TCOasis is always a fond memory. You know, unfortunately, my family hasn't made any of the 3. You know, to the point where Becky's like, I don't even know if you have a family.
I know. I think that's like you and me talk a lot, so I know you have a family, but it's like we've never met them.
Some of my favorite memories from the Tap Cancer Out tournaments have been when family attends.
Yeah.
Right. So I have my folks have attended, my brothers have attended. My brother attended one time in a wheelchair after a car accident.
Oh, really?
My kids have attended as like babies. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
And they've seen dad, get his butt kicked.
Is it
win and lose?
Yeah.
It's always a good lesson.
Is it more stressful having them there or less stressful? Because I've heard mixed reviews.
You always want to do your best, right?
Yeah.
I think it's nice to have the support. And then, if you win, you're coming off victorious. It's nice to give everybody a hug like that.
Right.
If you lose, it's also nice to have the support there, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that's good.
If someone, especially since you are a brown belt and you have a lot of experience, if someone is nervous to compete for their first time, what's some words of encouragement that you could give them?
I don't know who it was. Maybe it was Tim Ferriss. But they were talking about, think about the very worst thing that can happen, right? Like after the match, your 5-minute match, your 3-minute match, whatever it's going to be,
right?
Your family's still going to be there.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to still love you, right? Like your academy is still going to support you.
Yeah.
So what's the very worst thing that can happen?
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe you get injured, and you can get injured walking across the street.
Right.
So I think they call that fear casting. That's important.
Is there,
puts things in perspective.
Is there something that's like your favorite thing about competing?
I think one thing that stood out to me, even when I was young, as a white belt, and my family pointed out right away, they're like, I cannot believe the camaraderie and the sportsmanship in Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
I really thought coming into this, it was going to be a hard ass thing, and everybody really wanted to win. And,
right.
Everybody hated each other. I was like, no, it's like, people really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you stay in touch with the people you've competed with too.
Yeah. Have you noticed that if you go to a competition that you get in contact and stay in contact with either somebody that you competed against or just other academies?
Yeah, big time. It's a small community.
Yeah.
Right? It seems so expansive. But the longer you're around, the more familiar the faces become.
Yeah.
And you see the same people over and over. And it's really a group of quality people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the big thing. When we were at Jiu-Jitsu Con in Vegas, we would walk around and we would ask everybody questions. And one of the main questions we asked is what's your favorite thing about Jiu-Jitsu? And the amount of people that said the community was overwhelming.
That's a big deal.
Yeah. Do you feel like there was a difference since you did grow up wrestling, in the wrestling community versus Jiu-Jitsu community?
So my highest experience of wrestling was a senior in high school. I think wrestling nowadays, I was just talking to somebody at the gym, is so much different. These guys are way better than anybody I ever wrestled against.
Yeah.
The scrambles that they get into and the way they find their ways out of it are certainly different than the wizards and things we were working on when I was back in '96 or something like that. It was pre Sarah.
Right, pre me. That was actually I shouldn't say this, but that was the year I was born. But
right. Jesus.
It's okay. John gives me so much crap for he tries to tell me something and he was like, "Were you even born yet when that happened?" I was like, I was actually. That is awesome. That is great. What is your kind of go-to jiu-jitsu game?
Oh boy. The older I get, the lazier it gets, I think. Yeah. I really and you have to cut this out if I ever compete again. Closed guard I really like a lot.
Yeah.
Half guard quite a bit. I don't find myself in the dominant takedown positions top mount or side control anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think closed guard and bottom half are my shtick.
Yeah. Do you have go-to submissions that you like?
I'm not going to tell you.
No. I'm just going to have to find out tomorrow.
That's right.
We'll just roll together and that's when I'm going to find it out.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, I think that's I think you are a really big testament of how great you can do with fundraising when you do have like those family foundations that can help you out, friends and family. Have you found that there's a good go-to message that you send to people via email, Facebook, text message that really gets people wanting to donate?
What's interesting is I know LinkedIn is supposed to be more of a professional aspect, but the blend between professional and personal has become kind of like blurry sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that I work with or for are now friends. And so, I use LinkedIn as one of my, channels.
Yeah. Okay.
And the amount of people that came out of the woodwork and said, wow, I didn't know you trained. I train. Or, I'm out in California and I train also. Next
Yeah.
time you're out here, let me know. And people would make donations through that. And you could really see like what's driving traffic, and the LinkedIn views, were some of the highest that I had posted.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that was kind of cool.
That's something that I think, just because I don't use LinkedIn very much, but that's something Nacho even mentioned, is that he started using LinkedIn.
Nice.
And I think that's one of the avenues that a lot of people don't think about. But if you're in the business world, it's a good place to go.
Yeah. People want to know what you do outside of work. You know what I mean? And I think if you have an interesting pastime, this is still kind of like mysterious to a lot of the world.
Absolutely.
As if you were in a martial art that you've done for, 8 years or 2 years or whatever it's going to be, people want to know about that. So if you're a blue belt or a brown belt, they're like, wow, all right, that's pretty interesting, Sarah.
Yeah.
Glad you told me.
Right, exactly. Because, you got to bond over more than just what you do at work, right?
Big time.
And I think jiu-jitsu, like you said, is one of those pastimes that a lot of people don't understand yet.
I agree with you.
Have any of your coworkers ever wanted to get involved in jiu-jitsu because of you posting about tap cancer?
They want to talk about it a lot.
Oh, really?
I was like, you should really get into it. They're like, I don't know about that.
They just want to hear about how your tournaments and stuff go, and then just leave it at that.
It's so funny. Like, some people think that jiu-jitsu is like you're wrapping your fists and then putting it in like broken glass, and it's like the kumite.
Yeah.
Some people I don't even correct. I'm like, that's exactly how it is.
1,000%. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. Like the amount of people that are like, oh, so it's like karate.
Right. Sure.
Yep.
Same outfit.
Same outfit.
That's right.
Same thing. We had a tournament that was I think it was in Austin, and we had a karate tournament going on at the same time we had our tournament going on. And there was a decent amount of confusion of people checking in for the wrong tournament because,
it would have been entertaining.
Secretly deep down inside, I was kind of hoping that someone like just somehow got on a mat.
It was like UFC 1 back in 96.
Yes. And we're like, all right,
94.
Let's go ahead and see how these two match up.
Yeah.
We'll take someone who only trains jiu-jitsu and only trains karate and then see what they do.
Let's
see
go.
what happens. Exactly. All right. So we're going to hit you with our final question. Finish this sentence. Fundraising for tap cancer out is worth it because why?
I think the cause is bigger than myself.
Love
I think
that.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's you need to have something else besides just the present that you're working for, and the community and other people that you serve.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you think, is that the thing that you would say if there is somebody who comes and approaches you and says, hey, I want to do this thing, but I don't know anybody with cancer. I don't really have a cancer story. Would that be kind of your advice to them? Is that why they should get involved? It's because regardless, it's something bigger than themselves.
Yeah, I'd say, I don't want to jinx you, but just wait.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
So, there's something bigger than yourself out there.
Yeah.
And it's been a great feeling.
Yeah.
Right? It's like win or lose, compete or don't compete, you know that you're helping people out there.
Yeah.
So it's been excellent.
Well,
I appreciate the venue for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate having you. I think it's been, especially going to Chicago every year, it's always a pleasure and super exciting to see you. And you're already fundraising. Your fundraising has already kicked off for 2026, right?
It's about to.
Yeah. So and that's the cool thing too. When would you say you start your fundraising?
So I should be starting it right now.
Okay.
But generally, it's around the time that I would be cutting weight. So maybe 3 months before the tournament. Mm-hmm. It's nice to get the word out. I think the earlier you start, though,
the better.
The better. But you also want to have like a little bit of like excitement and momentum. Mm-hmm. So if I started in January and our tournament's in October, it might get a little stale.
Yeah.
It's nice to send reminders and things like that. But I think My strategy has always been maybe like 3 or 4 months before the tournament. You know, it's like within reach,
Yeah.
but still not super far out.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I think that's the big thing that some people even ask me is when is the best time for them to start their fundraising? And I think that's perfect because I tell people all the time, if you're competing in fall, probably not starting in January is going to be the best,
Yeah.
the best bet.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Brian, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks
Before
for
we
having me.
wrap up, is there anything else you want to share with our listeners?
I just want to thank you guys for everything that you do as an organization. I also want to thank my family, my friends, clients, everybody who's supported me along the way.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me. And we're about to head out for our thank you dinner. So thanks for hopping into the training room with me for a little bit of a podcast episode before we head that way. Make sure, everybody, to follow Tap Cancer Out on social media and check out our website for upcoming events. And to everyone listening, train hard, live well, and remember every role has a reason. See you guys on the mats.